But then who does estimation in the context of agile? So for example, if you want to paint a house, as we discussed before, if you want to paint your house, who is the best person to give an estimate? Is it the boss of that particular company who doesn't have anything to do with painting, or is it the accountant, or is it you? None of us. None of these people are best placed. Who is the best person? The person who is actually doing the work, the painter, is the best person to actually give you an estimate which is closer to the reality. What you have got an estimate, the idea is perhaps it's good to have an estimate, but then your estimate might be way off tangentially in terms of the reality or the actual that is being done on ground. So in the same context, with the IT, the development team should estimate. There's actually a saying that I keep repeating every time within the agile context. Even on Thursday, I'm going to repeat the same. Development team should estimate, they should commit, and they should deliver. That's the whole mantra of agile. The reason why agile development has been successful is because the team estimates, the team commits, and the team delivers. Nobody else. It's not your boss, it's not the client, it's not somebody else, it's not the subject matter expert. Everything is actually being done and being owned and delivered by the team. The team owns it, and that's why agile is successful, period. It's not successful because they're delivering something quick or anything. It's because when you have got the sense of ownership in terms of what you're doing, you take more and more responsibility, and you actually feel that freedom. You've got that responsibility on your shoulders, so you feel more committed and more and sincere towards your work. That's the whole objective of agile. It's about team empowerment. So in the context of agile, it's the development team that does the estimate. So I'm not talking only developers. I'm talking about, for example, as a team, the analysts, developers, designers, architects, all of them obviously would be involved in the estimation exercise. But then when it really comes to this, it's not being dictated by the project manager, by the scrum master. It's not being told by the customer. The customer might give a rough timeline saying that I want this feature, the e-commerce or the shopping cart feature by, let's say, September 2021. Or they say, I want to go to the market by April 2021. So they give a rough timeline, but they cannot dictate in terms of the how much time or what is the size of this particular piece of work. So it's the development team, it's us who should do that. So user stories in the sprint backlog need to be estimated. We've had a look at it already. The tasks, the requirement changes, the change requests, the defects, all of them, everything need to be kind of estimated. It cannot be left for choice. When we talk about user story points, it's not just the user stories that get the points and the estimates. You leave out the rest. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you need to estimate every single item in the backlog that needs to be. For example, in your sprint backlog of about 10 items, that's why we call it as items and not stories. Backlog is not all about stories. This is another important thing. We'll talk about each of these in the Agile course in detail. A backlog consists of, let's say, 10 items. We call it as items. Each item could be a story. It could be a change request from the previous story. It could be a defect that is logged by the customer or by the testing team. Or it could be a new requirement, for example. All of these, it could be a task as well. It could be a task to create a table in a database. It could be a task to fix a piece of code. It could be a task to add a user. All of these could be the tasks.